Hello there and welcome to the video. Now in this video we are going to learn a little bit about working with the computer, and also I'm going to give you a bit of a warning about internet advice. I'm going to give you some advice, okay, which tends to be not that great. Let's just say that, leave it at that. So we start off with a typical and innocent question that you often get on the internet, such as this one. Computer says his move, question mark. He should have played d4. So he asks a innocent question. Bishop f4 was my last move. d4 apparently best move. Someone please explain the strategy behind the d4 move. Now let's see what people had to offer. Number one, you kick the knight away from the center. Okay. Number two, and if he trades knights, I guess knight takes f3. He's going to end up with only his bishop. Let's see the position. He's going to end up with only his bishop, and you have lots of centralized pieces. Okay. A lot of advice in this thread. Kick the knight from the center. Get a more advanced central pawn majority. Yeah, it's true that if you push the pawns, you get the nice pawn center duo, which is generally good. So this is a general advice. Nothing against it as general advice. Let's see some more. Let's make it a little bit bigger. That's what she said. Kick the strong knight. If he takes the bishop, you unpin your queen and create a pretty strong center. To be honest, I would rather play bishop e3 and only after this play d4. So bishop e3 and then d4. Okay. So a lot of advice about the center and lead and development and such. What happened to this one? Okay. Kick the knight from the center, get a more advanced pawn majority. Did we already have this one? I'm confused. Yeah. This was actually Google translated, so decongest the pressure on the f3 horse and win the center of the pawns and give the lady a chance to unravel and find a more dynamic position to fight back after exiting the horse. So yeah, the Google translate is a bit funny, but play d4, get a nice center and unpin the queen. Then we have you have better development, so you should open lines and attack the center. Let's get it here. And you win a tempo on the knight without losing a pawn. Best move to punish your opponent's poor development. Okay, and we have, again, we're going to move it. Mainly you establish strong pawns on the center, and his only alternative to a retreat is an exchange that, if anything, enhances your dominance. Just attacking a piece with no particular threat behind taking it is something we often do and find no short-term or positional advantage. Cruise. A gradual improvement is better. A lot of words there. And then finally, d6 pawn is weak. Why is it weak? It's not on half on the file. It's not attacked by anything. So I can see why you would want to add pressure. It's defended by the queen and the bishop. Why is the d6 pawn weak? It's not weak. But he does add the black pawn structure is very solid. White would benefit from opening up the board as you are slightly ahead in development. That's generally true. So, what did we think about the advice? Did the person learn anything from this, or is he any closer to learning why the move was better and what the problem is in the position? No. And this reminds me of a movie titled by one of my favorite comedians when I was growing up, Richard Pryor. He had some funny movies. Yeah, go check him out if you haven't. If you're young, check out Richard Pryor, his comedy and his movies. But see no evil, hear no evil. You know, the blind leading the blind. Sometimes I don't. It's okay to add to the discussion. But if you don't know the answer, why? There are a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about that add a lot of answers. And for the person that wants advice, this just adds confusion because he has a lot of answers to go through, and the majority of them do nothing. The problem is, and nobody mentioned it, so bishop f4 was the move he played. It's actually a double question mark. And d4 is indeed a good move, might be the best move. But nobody, well, one half mentioned the problem in the position. And the problem is white is dealing with a very annoying pin. Black has sacrificed a pawn, a typical situation where he played bishop g4, bishop h5 after h3, and sacrificed his knight for 2 pawns, the h and g pawns. So here he's trying to utilize the pin. But you can usually find out by yourself, by using the computer, what went wrong. Usually there are two things. If you get a question mark, or especially a double question mark, you blundered something or you missed something very bad. So in the first case, if you blundered something, like it says here, bishop f4 is a blunder. Just go and look at the line. Knight takes f3, knight takes f3, queen f6. You can't protect your pieces. Queen e3, he takes on f3, e5, he gets the piece back. Just play it down the line. You can do that, using chess.com's analysis. You can play it down the line, and you'll see that bishop f4 gives the piece back. So black will be up a lot of pawns, and he will have a good position, maybe even a winning one. Okay, the second option is you get a question mark because you missed something. Either you could have prevented losing the material, or you could have won material. In that case, go down the line that is supposed to be best. It says d4 is best. Go down the line. If you don't understand it, try to play the moves you think the opponent should have played, and then you'll find out the truth. And it's slightly advanced, but the problem is, like I said, it's the pin. In the game, he played bishop f4. I'm not sure how the game progressed, but the computer told you knight takes f3, knight takes f3, and queen f6. And we can't protect the bishop. If the bishop moves, we lose the knight. If you protect with the queen, we can take an f3 or play e5, I think, both. So bishop takes f3 and d5. Unfortunately, there's no queen h4. Sorry, rook h4, because then we could take here, take back with the rook, and f7 is hanging. So we're going to take on f4 next, and black will be material. So why? So this is the problem. So we identify the problem. So we know that we must do something. Computer says d4, but why? Why does that work? So now we identify the problem in the first line. It's the pin. So what happens if we now go for the pin again? I mean, queen f6. There's no way to defend this, right? But now we see the point of d4. It's not some strategical, get the pawn duo and get more pieces and blah blah blah. Those are general considerations, and those don't matter if there are concrete tactics. And this is a concrete tactical problem. We open up for the queen, so now we can play bishop b5 check. That's the solution. And if the king moves, Doesn't matter which one. We play bishop g5. We pin the queen. You don't have time to take with the bishop. I take with check. So this might be the best move. But at the end of the day, I take back with the bishop. And yeah. And I keep my extra piece. So that's the idea. We can add that. It's actually a very nice tactic though. And maybe a reason why nobody found it. Bishop b5. If he takes, queen takes b5, you have to go into the pin. Doesn't matter which one actually, and then here. And then I take. GG. And even if we don't identify d4, which is very deep, we should be able to, because this is a common situation, you know, where you played h3, g4, and black sacrificed, you know, he had a knight here, took, bishop took back, and you get 2 pawns for the piece. You know, you should be able to learn yourself how to, you know, maneuver yourself out of these situations, and if you can. So here we need to protect this. Let's say we don't find d4. We need to protect this. How can we do it? Maybe we can bring the bishop here, and if queen f6, bishop d1. Okay, we're keeping it alive. Maybe rook g1, attacking the bishop. Takes, h5. Maybe we want to unpin, rook g3. We're threatening to unpin. Castle. Maybe this. Unpin with the queen. You know, several ways. So just by, you know, going down the lines, doing it yourself, you can learn about typical situations like this. You know, what should I do when I'm in such a pinning situation? This is how we do it. This is how we learn. And this is what you should do on your own. The best teacher is you. You can use the engine, you know, and try to understand it yourself. Even if you can ask on the internet, what should I do here? Try to understand it yourself. That's the only way to improve. Thanks for watching. See you next time.